Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are today flying the Captain Sim 737-300, which we haven't flown for a while since we've been, or when I have been flying the 737 Classic, I've mainly been flying the IXEG, but I thought it was time to try out the Captain Sim one again, since it's been a bit of time. And we are flying for Canadian Xpress, and we're going to be flying from Yellowknife up to Norman Wells. I think Canadian North has at least historically flown this kind of a route. Some stops from, I think, Edmonton, Hay River, Yellowknife, and then Norman Wells, and then I think further north. Let me see, how do I'm trying to get this extension browser thing from ChartFox, but it's not playing. Maybe I can't use it. I'm just gonna check. Maybe later. Can I hide the dock part somehow? No charts pinned. Okay, we're gonna pin them. Okay, good. Now I have the ChartFox working on my hardware EFB, since we don't have an EFB with the Captain Sim 737. But yeah, we are up here in northern Canada. One thing to note is we're not using any photoreal, it's just going to be Orbx Global or Orbx North America. But it works quite well when it's snow, because it doesn't really matter then what you have. So I don't think I'll add any. I've added photoreal on the kind of southeastern Canada, around the US there, but I don't think I'll add here in the northern Canada. It's too much gigabytes and I'm not gonna fly here that often. And when I fly, I'm hoping to do it mostly during the winter when the weather looks like this. But as you can see, we have the specific livery. I think it's a 1-year anniversary livery from Canadian Xpress. This aircraft is called Hilroy. As with most aircraft in P3D, they don't look as good exterior-wise compared to the X-plane ones like IXEG, but it's still a pretty good aircraft. The snow effects are also okay-ish, even though they look a bit weird when you're kind of moving, but yeah, other than that, they look pretty nice. This livery is also, of course, a special one. It's the 1 year of excellence one, so that's why it looks a bit different than the other Canadian Xpress liveries. They have a lot of really nice liveries, Canadian Xpress, so I'm gonna do quite a bit of flights with them, just because their liveries are very nice. I mean, you can see here with the buildings in the background, etc. Anything else to mention? I don't think so. This is the Payware airport from one of these developers. I'm gonna actually double check who did the Yellowknife. I think it's Project Max, that's their name. I also have their Mumbai, which looks pretty good. So yeah, they get some plus points from me in that regard. One cool thing with the Captain Sim 1 with the 737 is it does have a pretty okay cabin as well, so that's pretty dope. And yeah, look at this delivery, 09 to 2010, so back in the day. Of course, this specific type wasn't in existence back then, so I guess this is a livery to honor that, the beginning of the operations of Canadian Xpress. And they do have a lot of nice liveries, so I'll give them some plus points in that regard. In terms of other aircrafts here, we only have some AI ones actually. Let me see, it's West Wind 737 and another West Wind. So not the best ones, no AIG aircraft for one reason or another. And I'm just gonna check before we'll go on board. So I'm just gonna, I just want to see if we have, yeah, we haven't fixed the viewpoints unfortunately, since I haven't flown this in a while. I might have fixed it on the 400. So we're just gonna have to fix quickly the camera so we don't get the transition effects, which I'm not a big fan of. Generally speaking, I'm not a big fan of the viewpoints that we have. I mean, look at this one, it's even going into the ground. So yeah, really not the best ones, unfortunately. Let me just see. I think we got away all those transitions at least. But I think we want to import some presets. And you can import that from other aircraft, so I'll just show you guys. You can go here, right? And then let's say I do like, or maybe not the Captain Sim ones, because they will be off. Maybe the PMDG ones. So these ones, some of these ones are going to be quite aligned. You can see here. So we can add, I don't think you can select a couple of them, unfortunately. Well, let me see, we have, because this one actually has a lot of views that are nice. So let's add, oh sorry, now I added only one. Let's add all of them actually, because that will make it easier, and then we can remove spot view, we can keep, this one is pretty boring, same with that one. The nose one isn't that good, neither the tail one, not the right wing one either, nor the left wing one, nor the landing gear. But now we have the spot view, the forward gear view, the static port. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Gear view, much better. Yeah, right trailing edge, left trailing edge, right leading edge. So the only thing we'll need to fix is the transitions, and maybe a bit the views, so it looks okay on my PC or on my 3 screens as well. I don't want to see a broke or a fuselage breaking in to the viewpoint. It does destroy the immersion a bit. Same with this view, I can kind of see the cockpit simultaneously. I think this works better for me than this one as well. So this is overview views. I'm not really sure what this view is supposed to. Cabin camera. Yeah, maybe, I guess could be good to have something in the front. Yeah, some of these. Oh yeah, cabin camera. I know which views these ones are. So not really the best ones either. We can remove those. Actually, I think all of these views are not the best, because we can actually get some of the ones that I've actually fixed already. Some of these ones. Yeah, you can see these ones are looking better. I'm actually gonna take these ones, so we're gonna get all of those. So it does add a bit of work. We'll remove some of these views that we're already fixing, because I still don't think, let me see, because then we don't have to do the transitions again. Yeah, that one is a bit unnecessary. The exit ones, spot view. Okay, now this is supposed to be a wing overview, and we need to go a bit down. I guess the height is a bit different on the aircrafts. Same here. Something like that. These engine views, we're gonna have the same problem, so we'll save those. Save this one, and then get these engine views. They're all a bit too high, At least we don't have the transition effects that we need to tweak. Yeah, this will work as well. And right aft, also want to go down a bit. Yeah, let's do that. So yeah, you have quite a lot of kind of tweaking options with chase plane, which I'm fond of. Hell, you have the nose camera. I'm gonna keep it a bit away. Right wing, left wing, spot view. Good, there we go. And we're just quickly gonna pause here 1 second. But okay, there we go. I'm gonna unpause here. Now we can continue. And let's just get, I'm just gonna double check all the views. They're okay, not the best ones. I've done better ones, but they will suffice for today's flight. Let's keep something like this. Looks nice for the boarding process. Okay, so what we need to do is then jump into our little aircraft. We can start with the first things first, the battery, the ground power. Those are on nav already. Won't hear me complain about that. Interesting though. I would think they would be on off, but maybe I've not set this one up properly, and I'm actually gonna just quickly hide that one. It's a bit in the way, unfortunately. And we'll go to the menu and the options, and yeah, I don't think we need to change anything there. Do we want to do the EFIS ones instead of the... I think I have the steam gauges on the IXEG, so it might be nicer to do the... I mean, it's a bit of a different setup, right? Let me check. Yeah, these are kind of similar gauges, but then these disappear. What do we gain on this one? Well, more space. That's about it. Well, maybe we can keep that difference. I mean, that's that makes this a bit of a different aircraft than flying the IXCG, so let's keep that. We'll do pounds and have an improved ADI type. Not sure if you can see the diff. Yeah, okay. I do think I'll prefer the improved one, to be honest. Fuel and payload, that will be the next things we'll put in. Not too much. We're flying with 16,000. And the interesting part is, I guess these engines are still quite... I mean, the NG is much more fuel efficient, but this one wasn't that old, right? In the sense that, you know, it's still CFM engines. So, and I guess to a certain extent was competitive versus the Airbus A320. And let's actually do 16.1. I just realized there's a bit more. Can't hurt to have more anyway. Our zero fuel weight should be 92.5. So we have that. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else we need to tweak. We're not very heavy today. We only have 83 packs. And what else? One thing I don't like is it has all this dirty looking stuff. I also have a feeling that some of these, for example the Trust, this one looks very similar to the 200, so I think they reused some parts. So I think in that sense prefer, because I feel like the IXEG just, I don't know, my gut feeling tells me that it's a better looking aircraft foremost, but more kind of, you know, no corners have been cut. And that the VNAV seems to at least work better on that one, but we'll try it out again. I've had flights where the VNAV works very... This is actually, the 737 is actually the only aircraft where I've seen a Captain Sim VNAV work. So, compared to the 757 and the 767 where it usually can't maintain the speed. So I'm actually interested in seeing how it does today. But we'll start the boarding. We're going to use the Luke air tool. Or actually, before we start the boarding, we'll start... I'm going to remove the traffic controller. We start the Canadian Xpress A-car system. So I'm going to start that. I'm just going to check we have everything. Start log. Yeah, we have our inputs. I'm going to go to flight setup. We're doing a passenger flight. And we are flying the 737-300. I like the 400 more, but the 300 is what we're doing. Boeing, what was it, 83 packs, not a lot. We have the flight plan, you can see here. And, okay, we need to have a model. I'm just going to use that standard one. We'll use the generic one, not the LATAM, but there should be a generic English. And we can start. So from Yellowknife to Norman Wells. Not a long flight, but a pretty decent long flight. Almost 400 nautical miles, so a bit longer than my usual flights. And we can move this down, and I'll start the boarding kind of simultaneously when starting it through GSX. Okay, so we'll start the boarding. And let me get the number of packs in GSX. We're doing 83. No need to attach the pushback tug. No need to attach the boarding crew. We might have to use de-icing. It's quite cold up here. -9 you can see there, but yeah, that's very cold. Much colder than here in Sweden. It's now around 0 degrees. So not that warm. We want to keep this on steady. We don't want to have anti-collision. It's a bit weird that some of these are... Sorry, that one should be on off. Not sure why that one... Maybe it was on off actually. Yeah, it could have been that it was on off. Not gonna complain about about that in that case. Could have been that it was right. I guess this one was the only thing that was kind of aligned already. But okay. No biggie. The controller for that is even worse than the 767 since it's back here. So that's a bit frustrating, but okay. We'll learn to live with that. We'll go to the first page, the identification, position. We'll put in the data. So that's CYZF. I don't know the gate, and I don't trust that anyway.
Passenger's bus is coming.
And I don't think we need to fill it in because it was already aligned, so it doesn't seem like we need to do that. So we can just go straight into this one, to the route. Get the origin. And then do the... And I hate that a bit, that when I jump out of the sim I lose the sound. So CYV. And then Q for Norman Wells. We are supposed to take off from runway 34. That could of course change depending on pilot TDC, but let's see. Okay, that's good. Let's communicate a bit with the tower. I think it might be time to do that. I'm gonna import the flight plan. I'm also gonna press the welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard of this aircraft. If I could ask everyone to stow their cabin bags under the seat in front of them or in the overhead lockers above. We are preparing for a prompt departure.
Okay, we don't have a lot of waypoints. That's my first comment here. Like Vermi, is that the only one? Here's supposedly some sort of twist. I'm actually gonna check. Yeah, it's definitely only Vermi. That's interesting. Seems to be one waypoint that's that's interesting though. Is that really a waypoint? No, it can't. No, it's north. Now it's direct right to Fermi. That can't be, or maybe it can. Actually, when you have it like this, is this like a waypoint, like a manual one that you have to put in? Not sure. But okay, we probably don't need that. It will be fine anyway. Okay, so we can just check altitude is right. This one is wrong. We need to change to Boeing. We need to change the away from heavy. And let's see, it seems to have, now it's back. Canadian Xpress. We can save that, we get it updated, and now we can connect to the sim. Let's check the views here. The one sucky part is even though we have the nice cabin, I don't think I have a single view of that. So wait, let me just check if we can maybe...
Temperature
I'm
minus
just
10.
gonna remove the
Dew
80s
point.
for now. But let's see if we can force... or force and force, but maybe add a view
Passenger's
preset.
bus is coming.
So import an existing preset, and we want to get something from one of these aircraft that does actually have an interior, which is not a lot actually. Maybe the 76, now the 767, the 757 might actually have one. Yeah, look at this one. So we can get that one, and I'm gonna check which else did we have. Coach, yeah, that's a bit. I think there's no wings though. Look at that. So yeah, that's yeah, maybe not the best. Let's import this one as well, and then I'm just gonna check if we can make this viewpoint. Trying to think, how do we get it realistic without an engine? Maybe if it's at the front enough, then maybe it will work. But yeah, no matter how I kind of place it, it's gonna be a bit difficult to... We'll do the same on this other one as well. But yeah, as you can see, the cabin looks pretty nice for a P3D product. And yeah, reminds at least me of just, you know, any 737-800 or the Max. Maybe those look a bit more modern, but apart from that, no big change. Let me see now. I'm gonna just run through my views, check how they work and look. Yeah, okay, we can have some nice interior ones. The one sucky thing, of course, this aircraft doesn't have anything here in the front, so there's no tip. So it's a bit, unfortunately, one of their... It's not at the level as the 767 or the 757. I think those products is really Captain Sim at its best, or their older ones, 707, etc. I'll do legs on that one.
We are preparing for a prompt departure, so please take your seats and fasten.
What do we need to do? We need the IFR clearance, I think, so let's get that. And actually one thing I did forget to do was... Let me see, I need to... We might actually have to reconnect or restart Pilot to ADC, because I had managed to forget to connect my joystick, because I had to use slew mode a bit, unfortunately. But okay, so be it. I'll put the flight directors on already, can't hurt to have those ready. Then I'll just quickly import the flight plan. Check that we still get the same cruising altitude, which we are. Validate, file, and connect. But yeah, the weather is looking really bad, and in terms of the weather, and if we're talking sim brief, we can just have a quick look here and Actually, let's check quickly. The minimums are 400, 500. Well, that's with LPV, but let's say LNAV, VNAV 533 feet. The airport is at an altitude of 237, so we can get pretty low, even though it only has RNAV and VOR. Let me see if the VOR is much higher though. Yeah, 76. So let's see how the weather is, but first let's check this. Is it warning for icing? 1 turbulence, it seems. But what I'm wondering mainly is the destination airport. Okay, it looks fine, it's few. So it looks like it's much clearer compared to Yellowknife, where we're looking at overcast conditions. Not the worst overcast, but still not the best. And I think most of the boarding might have already been completed by now, so that was quick. Let's check Pilot ADC. Canadian 4003, ready to copy, IFR clearance. Okay, we should be getting that. And we're going to fly a departure.
Canadian 4003 is cleared to Charlie Yankee Victor Quebec. Fly the CYZF to departure then as filed. Expect departure runway tree 4. Climb to 8,000 feet via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure.
Okay, and then vectors.
Edmonton
so
Center
hopefully
on
we get that.
132.5.
Yeah, the only thing we have
Score
according to Pilot ADC is the
3055.
Burmy one. So it's basically Burmy. And then we're going
Canadian
to
4003
the airport.
is cleared to Charlie Yankee Victor Quebec.
And
Fly the CYZF to departure then as filed.
runway 10
Climb to
is what we're
8,000 feet
expecting to
via the
get.
departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes
And
after
I want to do
departure.
the VR one, that'll be
Edmonton
fun.
Center
I'm
on
not gonna expect
132.5.
any sort
Squawk
of
3055.
what's it
Canadian
called?
4003 read back
Let's
correct.
go back to map.
Altimeter
But any form
2976.
of
Let us know
transition,
when
we
you're
don't
ready for
often get
pushback.
that, but we might get that, of course.
Altimeter 2976. Canadian
And
4003.
let's activate the route and execute it. And let's go to initref, get all of this data correct. We are looking at
As 498 speed scan, so you can take Delta 5 if you want. Line up runway 26 left.
So we're waiting on the back end right now, Jazz 418.
at a
Okay, nothing inbound, you can just advise ready in position.
Okay,
0.5, zero fuel,
26 left, Jazz 418.
reserves of 2.2, cost index of 14. So focusing on fuel efficiency. Cruising altitude, I think it's like 1. Majority fuel efficiency 999 speed. 270 at 21. I really like that these buttons are kind of pressed. Like they look actually really good animations. I'll give them that. Very nice. It's plus 6 degrees dew point. Yeah, these values look correct. Takeoff values we don't have. And I don't think we... I mean, we can put in flaps 5. Okay, we can get some example ones. Let me check if we're getting anything from the sim brief. Yeah, here we have some examples. With bleeds on.
1835, 5024, good day.
Flaps 5. 131, 138. And then we're looking at a selected tempo of 53. Doesn't seem unreasonable, I would say. The outside air temp, that's -9, right? 133, it looks kind of close. I think these are the values we're getting from the sim brief one, so we'll try those. Since we're quite light, it's not gonna really matter anyway. We'll get off the ground one way or another. Okay, so we're putting in our values. Okay, we need to delete those takeoff speeds. So we'll re-enter them. One, 3, 1.
Ground load, Air Canada 7053, just
1,
coming
3,
up
1.
7053,
1,
heavy,
3, 8.
native India, altimeter 3007, taxi.
Oh yeah, we need to put the winds. Let me check. Do we have 80 still? No, we don't. So we'll use the direct link to Active Sky to get this. Quite crazy winds. 18 knots. 0.6. I mean, is that maybe it's just beneath what we can do in terms of crosswind? But I guess if there's ice, right, that would affect, or like cold. Maybe it's a bit dry. I mean, it's probably not wet. I'm not sure actually. I guess like if it's only snow, it's very cold. It should be dry. There could be ice though, right? So that could impact. It's considering it's a wet runway according to this one, so we'll go with okay, doesn't seem like we can. Let me just try something. Yeah, okay. No biggie, I guess. Options, no. Fuel and payload, 26.4. Let's just use that. No slope. Maybe these values actually aren't too bad. We'll use them instead of the ones we get from the sim brief one. Because these ones are, I think, better considering the values. Anything else we need to enter though? I don't think so. I think we have most of the data, so we should be ready. Outside is looking okay. Dew point. Interesting though that dew point here is saying it's 11 minus rather than +6. Huh. Interesting. So a bit of a discrepancy there. Altimeter is 2976. We should have gotten that though. Yeah, and that was the same. 2976. 2976. 2976 on that one. And anything else we need to do, or I don't think so, right? I think next step is to get up in the air. Okay, we can put these on the leg page, I think. Make sure that both of these are on.
Good afternoon, FedEx 121 Whiskey Race Tech.
The lowest range selector. Map and map. We don't need pushback, so we just need engine start. We'll close all the doors. And it's weird though, there's supposed to be like a ground power thing, but I can't see anything showing here. Because it's weird, because you have it like as an option to select the equipment for that. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, it's still weird. And you even have the same option on this other menu that they have, but oh well. Once again, not the end of the world. What we'll do, or what we'll need to do, is start the APU. I don't think, will we have a center fuel actually at all? No, we will not. We basically have nothing in the center fuel, so those can go off. Let's see, let's get this starting. Come on, APU. There we go. Yeah, this panel lighting, let's put it on. It does help a bit with the visibility. I think this one is though weird, because it's the flood one that does the panel, while this one is the flood. So yeah, not sure what they were thinking there. Let's use here. It's interesting though, because it's only that one. It's not the actual instruments, which... Okay, so that one... Nope, not this one either. Yeah, so it's not the best, unfortunately. Let's try the fire. At least that one works. You get all of these. Let me see, does this one have like a separate cargo one? Potentially there wasn't one in this old bird. And yeah, once again we don't need the... We can remove the stairs. And I think... Let me check though. De-ice with engines off or on plane. Yeah, so you want to have those on. So we're gonna put the engines on and then get the de-icing, I think. I assume they have de-icing equipment at this airport, but we shall see. The APU is online. Okay, we don't need sun shields, I think. We can put that to auto. Auto. Open, I think, and then the APU bleed. These seems to all be on. The window here should be on. What else? No smoking, fasten seat belt. Okay, we don't have the external power, so we can disconnect that. Canadian 4003, ready for engine start. Okay, we didn't get that through, so we'll just have our co-pilot.
Ground. Canadian 4003 ready for engine start.
Canadian 4003 engine start approved.
One
Engine
of the
start
cargo
approved.
doors
Canadian
were still open.
4003.
Thank God we realized that early on. Okay, engine start approved. Shouldn't be anything special. We'll do engine 1 first. I think this one is very quick with starting, unfortunately. So that, we'll put it on the start one. But I don't think it should have the start one. That's a bit... we'll have a look when I fly the IXEG after. Maybe I'll fly it after this one, actually, as my next video, and then we can just see the difference with this whole throttle. 'Cause this one really looks like just a 200. But what do I know? But yeah, let me actually show you. Let's do a search for that. 773. Oh yeah, and one thing we need to do is the anti-collision lights, right? Get that red blinking stuff. Okay. Could be that I'm wrong though. Here's that throttle quadrant that's being sold. I think these parts look pretty correct. But yeah, here there's no labels, but that could have been removed. Well, maybe this is correct then. Maybe it's just a different version, older version, right? Could be. Okay, we got that engine started. Well, it didn't take that long. The problem is that I can't ask for de-icing because the engines are on. Okay, so we're just gonna have to play that we got the de-icing. That was a bit annoying, but okay. You know, you win some, you lose some, right? Let's go to idle. That's weird though with GSX. You would normally have engines on for de-icing, so or at least according to AI, but yeah. At least the planes I've been on when we've gone and done the de-icing, the stuff the engine has been on. So I think that's the normal one. Let me see, I think auto is sufficient. Here auto. We don't want to have dual bleed. I think we can do the anti-ice stuff. That's gonna take a hit on our engines a bit, so something to keep in mind. We need to set these values correctly, I just realized. We want to go up to 36,000. Do we need to set the cabin altitude? I mean 36, that's gonna be 8. Landing altitude, that's gonna be about 200. So let's put that in, unless we have to go to our alternate, which I didn't check. Our alternate is C60. Which airport is that? Google. Eric Nielsen White Horse International Airport. That's in Yukon, okay, so quite a quite far away, but okay, not a biggie. Good. Anything else we need to fix? Oh yeah, this one's. Now we can turn off the APU, taxi lights and runway turn off lights. And yeah, since we're not doing the de-icing, I think it's time to.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
And then do the.
Please be seated and check to see that your seatbelt is securely fastened.
Do the safety announcement, I think.
Hello everyone. The captain and the entire crew would like to welcome aboard.
Okay, let's check this one. Rejected takeoff. Flap 5 is what we're doing. We can just check that these work. Do we have any way to indicate that they're working? Not that I can see. So we can just check from the outside just to see that they do seem to be working. Yeah, look at that. That's good news. And we do seem to have some sort of dynamic lighting. Maybe a bit strong, but not too crazy. We're on flaps 5. That's good. Do we need to set anything? Set N1 values. Is that automatically set by this one, or do we have to? It looks to be pretty correct, I think. Let's try this one, the lights. Yeah, that seems to work. Let's ask for taxi clearance, I think. Canadian 4003, ready to taxi. And 34 is quite far away, so we need to taxi quite a bit. Let me ask for taxi clearance, or have my co-pilot do it, because it seems like I'm not being acknowledged.
Ready to taxi.
Yeah, we'll need to go backtrack the runway, basically.
Canadian 4003 taxi to runway 34 via 2, Bravo, Alpha, Hotel, hold short runway 16, 34.
Okay, he has some weird route.
Taxi to runway 34 via 2, Bravo,
okay, but we'll
Hotel,
follow the procedure.
Hold short runway 16, 34 Canadian 4003.
And we are taxiing on idle thrust, so I'll give them some bonus points for that. We can arm this one, LNAV as well. Some things, we got 8,000, so clearance to go up to 8,000 feet. We need to set our transponder though. I don't think I set that, and it's 3055. I'm gonna do it on my 305. 5. What's that sound? Did I press something by mistake? The trim one? Oh, I didn't put the trim correctly. Let's add a bit of more trust. Get this bird turning. Come on. Yeah, you can see the effects of adding that thrust, all that snow kind of moving or being pushed away. But yeah, what's that sound? I hope it's not the flaps that are jumping. And let me just check quickly that we got the right transponder. Wait, now I'm totally blanking. There it is. Sorry. We'll put that to TARA. Okay, and we're gonna follow the taxi route that we were assigned, even though it is a bit weird. All of those are set correctly. Just gonna check. Potentially it is the speed brake that's jumping. Now it should stop. I think maybe I, by mistake, armed it. Don't think you need to do that except for landings. Yeah, not the best taxiing, but not the worst either. This is definitely much better than, for example, the Aerosoft Twin Otter, I think. Or maybe it's realistic that it's a bit fickle with that one. It turns pretty nicely. I think similar to the 767, it you feel that there's some sort of weight
Canadian
behind the aircraft.
4003 contact Yellowknife Tower on 118.5.
Okay, and we'll contact the tower and then we'll backtrack down
Tower
and then take
on
off.
118.5. Canadian 4003.
Oh yeah, let's look here. Flaps in transit. Yeah, the flaps are jumping for some reason. Okay, hopefully we'll stop now. Canadian 4003 ready for takeoff. Okay, we didn't get that. Let's have our co-pilot do it.
Tower, Canadian 4003 ready for departure.
What the hell is
Canadian
going on with
4003 winds are 044 at 18 knots. Backtrack runway tree 4 cleared for takeoff squawk 3055.
That's annoying. Flaps not playing along.
Backtrack runway tree 4 then cleared for takeoff. Squawking 3055 Canadian 4003.
There's nothing to be in transit for, I think.
Aircraft calling Yellowknife Tower, say again with your call sign.
We already said. Let's see, we'll get the strobe. Okay, and let's turn here so we don't go totally off the runway. Maybe we can add a bit of traffic. I'm gonna delete, change to 100% traffic, and add with the traffic controller. It's probably gonna take a bit of time before it adds that. Okay, and we'll taxi down this whole route and then take off. Some guy said that the wing on this one is exactly the same as on the 737-200, that they kind of reused it, but I had to look at some pictures and I think this wing is... I mean, maybe some things are wrong on it, but it should be... I mean, maybe they updated it, maybe it was an old comment, so that's something to keep in mind. Things do get updated after they are released, usually at least. I'm not sure though about this yellow map. Does that signal anything? 737 Sim yellow map text. Oh yeah, we need to realign them. That's the problem. Let's see if we can get this working. Okay, now maybe. No.
Departure November 588, Tango November 2008, climbing 5000 on this is. November 588, Tango November, departure, radar identify, climb flight level 230.
Flight controls.
November 588.
What's going on? Always something wrong. Maybe it was aligned. It didn't feel like it was though. TFC should be on. Actually, one way to fix this, I remember now how I did this the last time I had this issue. Yes, it's this page, and then we wanna do the fast one. We can do realistic, and then select the fast one, and basically then it should align kind of ASAP, but I'm gonna just double check. I'm gonna stop using a lot of our fuel, because we need that fuel. Let me see here, position in it, and we'll just cycle them. And let me see, I'm gonna go align. Hey, this is a bit frustrating actually. Let me quickly pause and try to fix this. God damn, always have this issue with this aircraft. Okay, there we go. I just had to reset a lot of these things, unfortunately. Basically start the procedure over again, but now we should have at least the right one, and it should be working, knock on wood. Still couldn't fix the annoying flaps that's jumping back and forth, but apart from that we should be good to go. Weather radar, we can keep that on the left one. And then I guess we wanna have terrain radar, right? Okay, so we have terrain on the right one and weather radar on the left one. Good. Let's get going. We should have everything set up correctly. Anti-skid, not sure why that one is saying disarmed. And we got the trim set, and I also noticed I probably hadn't done the pidostatic ones, but they're now on. So that's good. And I don't think we have any doors open, right? It doesn't look like it. And I wasn't able to get any more of those, what are they called? Aircraft. Even though it was trying to fix the traffic controller. What we could do is actually restart the tool. Sometimes it does get bugged. So we can restart it and see if it works. But that should be about it. We are now coming up on our runway. We don't have that much fuel. I did kind of restart the ACAR system as well and add back the fuel. So at least, and actually sorry, we need to turn this way in order to turn correctly.
Cougar 2 November Tower, airborne contact terminal on 119.2. The wind is 170, 16 gusting 23. Charlie, clear takeoff.
So that's why it looks like we have more fuel. It's just that I was more efficient this time around. Let's add a bit of more thrust so we can get this turn executed. And so we can finally take off and get this flight underway. In terms of other settings, I think everything should be set up now correctly. Yeah, it does look like it. The only thing we have is that flaps. But that could be my hardware that's messing with it. And just to make sure that we are not doing anything dumb, I'm just gonna quickly double check the airport that we are at, and I just want to see that the departure, the SID one, climb heading 340. So we should climb our assigned runway heading and then expect clearance within 10 minutes after departure. So we just gotta wait. And I'm actually gonna check quickly that I have the right procedure. I'm gonna load the SID. I mean, basically it's just taking off, and then we should get a clearance to go left at some point. And I'm gonna open that on the side and just check. Yeah, 'cause we need to go left after, because when I get to Virmi, right? But okay. One thing we didn't do, chrono. Let's get that started, and let's just double check flaps. I actually do have a checklist for the 737 here on my left. Before takeoff, parking brakes, throttles idle, flaps 5, spoilers retracted, flight instruments checked, takeoff data verified, nav equipment, blah 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 blah, pitot heats, de-icer, de-ice. I must have forgotten that this time around actually. I'm gonna have those on just for safety, and that should be it. Let's put on VNav as well, or arm that. Okay, let's spool up. Now I don't remember where the takeoff button is on this one. Maybe it's the N1 value.
Lima Foxtrot Tango Tower, line up runway 23 at Charlie. Line up.
Or maybe not. Oh yeah, it's gonna be short. Okay, I'm gonna just manually put it to place. So we get the right 100 knots checked. Okay, we are gonna have sufficient V1 to rotate. And we are taking off, though quite late considering those trees there, but okay. Positive rate of climb.
Canadian 4003, turn left to heading 280, then direct to Victor India Romeo Mike
Okay,
India.
28.
Turn left to heading 280, then direct to Victor India Romeo Mike India. Canadian 4003.
And then direct. Gonna force it to flap 0. Okay, and let's see what
Canadian
we are on is
4003,
VNav.
contact Edmonton Center on 132.5.
Maybe it works pretty fine.
Center on
We can
132.5.
turn these
Canadian
ones off.
4003.
In terms of the flying, it's not that bad. I think the ICEG is better. Don't know why it was
Center
lagging a bit.
Canadian
Could be the weather.
4003. Climbing to 8,000
Or maybe...
feet.
No, but that's not enough. aircrafts to have an effect.
4003, this is Edmonton Center, go ahead.
Okay, we're climbing to 8,000 feet. Okay, we still haven't gotten to flap 0 because it bugged out. But yeah, we're climbing like crazy. No clue actually why it's being so slow with the FPS.
Canadian
Or maybe it's just the weather.
4003, climb and maintain 16,000 feet.
Okay, we're on flap 1. There
Climb
we go,
and
flap
maintain
0.
16,000 feet.
Okay,
Canadian
16. Oh,
4003.
I'm sorry, direct. We're supposed to fly 28, but then a direct. Actually, we can continue flying direct, but we wanna put this one there. And I'm actually gonna fly a bit. This is not very realistic, but because Pilot ADC, I don't want to hear them say that we are off course. So I'm gonna fly a bit off and then do another direct, so we get on the same course that Pilot ADC has in mind. The altitude, we had 8,000, or we had 10, because I forgot to change that, but we're now cleared to 16,000. Let me see, I want to get off the... the LNAV. Okay, let's climb a bit more. So far so good. Beautiful looking livery. Might take another picture for the thumbnail actually. Nah, maybe I'll keep the one, it looks pretty cool with the snow. But actually looks so much better with the... Okay, well, we're not with this kind of clouds though. That's some awful looking cloud. Okay, let's see, we still wanna go a bit left. I'm gonna turn off the landing lights and retract them. Okay, and soon enough we can engage the direct. We're above 10,000 feet. I'm gonna trim a bit. We're mainly fighting this aircraft the whole time. Definitely not as nice to hand fly as the IXEG, which is very nice. It's not bad though. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think it's time to do another. Like that. We can get the LNAV connected. And let's see if we can get onto that. Yeah, we're above the cloud layer, so the fasten seatbelt signs can come off. And I don't think we'll need that. I mean, there's no clouds here, so we can turn off the anti-ice. And I'm gonna just straighten this out a bit, get the autopilot on. Are you supposed to see CWSR, and maybe R actually with this one? Not 100% certain. I'm gonna put this all the way up to 36 because that's what we'll get eventually. It will take a bit of time though. So let's see how long. Okay, 36,000. We're on 14,000 now. Maybe something like this could be nice for the thumbnail actually. It looks pretty. The volumetric ones look better now because we're getting some distance from them. We can also start going to standard on the barometric, even though we're not at 18,000, but I'm just gonna set that already so I don't forget. And on all three of them. Oh. Oh yeah, because I was clicking all of these.
Canadian 4003 climb and maintain flight
Goddamn.
level 240.
So, too many mistakes.
Climb and maintain flight level 240.
But you know, you shouldn't be too hard on yourself,
Canadian
considering that
4003.
I just saw the mentor pilot video of the Thai Airways, where the pilots basically flew into a mountain, missing their info on the headings, etc. So you know, small mistakes can happen. Okay, we have about 1 hour to go on the flight. We're not climbing maybe as fast as we could. What's the MCP speed? Maybe that's the thing we want to work a bit on. Cruise 0.733, that's a bit low. Can't we do 0.6 maybe? Just to speed things up a bit. Yeah, let's force that up. Now what's the climb one for 0.733? Let's also do 0.6 on this one. Force it up. Question is, will we be able to handle it? Maybe we can do something like this. 300.76. Yeah, that's gonna burn a bit more fuel, but it will get us to our destination a bit faster. And I wanna shorten this video rather than lengthening it. We've already been flying for, or not flying, but we've been recording for over 1 hour. Let's check our viewpoints. Maybe we can adjust them a bit. Unfortunately, this one is not that pretty as an aircraft. The livery is very cool, but with Captain Sim, I don't see their kind of... I mean, it looks pretty good with the sun kind of on it, but it's just not that good looking otherwise. I like how I can hear the trim from the outside view. Why the hell is that? Oh well. Oh, now the CVS thing is gone. In order to be more ready for our approach, we're gonna assume that we're gonna get the VOR. And we are gonna assume that we have a 533 decision height, so I'm just gonna put that in.
FedEx 36, you're still deviating, correct?
God damn, this one is difficult to get down. Let's see. 5, 3, 3. What else do we need? We need the VOR itself, which we would want anyway, because it's a good backup to have. Question is, what's the VOR? That's the sorry, that's the RNAV. The VOR is 76. Oh, so let's put that. That's also the most conservative RNAV, and that's if you only have LNAV, I think. Yeah. 7.4, it's even better, but 760, that's fine, we'll keep that. We don't want to push it anyway. For the VOR, it's 11.12.7. So let's put that in. I think we have it on... or is that one 11.12.7? Yeah, it's on manual switch now. We can do manual or auto. We'll do manual.
Canadian 4003 expect the RNAV approach to runway 28 with the Vermi transition at Norman Wells Airport.
God damn, we're climbing slowly in order to maintain this
Expect the
speed.
RNAV approach to runway 28 with the Vermi transition. Canadian 4003.
Can we maybe force
Canadian
it down?
4003
Yeah, maybe
descent
we...
across Victor India Romeo Mike India at or above 3,600 feet.
Or maybe it will be
Altimeter
fine.
2974 at
It
Norman
just seems
Wells
like
Airport.
such a crazy slow... I'm gonna use the
We'll cross Victor
vertical.
India Romeo Mike India at or
See if
above
we can force this
3,600
bird
feet. Altimeter
higher.
2974.
Yeah, look at that, we can
Canadian
still force it.
4003.
There's sufficient N1 values. We weren't even touching the climb NV N1 values. Not even close. We could do level change. That should work kind of similarly. Okay, so we want to cross the Vermi waypoint at above 3,600 feet. So we got the descent clearance already, but we don't want to descend for quite some time. I'm going to open this up on my other screen, and then I'm going to zoom out. Top of descent. It's gonna be in, I mean, it's over 160 nautical miles to go. It's 300 to our destination, so no point pushing this. And let me get that view back, so I managed to mess it up. There we go. Okay, we are climbing now. Slowly getting higher and higher. I don't know, I don't think there's actually any kind of frame rate. It's basically this chase plane thing that's just acting up like crazy. That's very annoying. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna open up chase plane. And now it got smoother. I think the thing is you don't want it to minimize. But for some reason it always minimizes. That's annoying. Because now it's much smoother. Goddamn chase plane. Not playing ball. Yeah, much smoother gameplay this way as well. Maybe I'll have to get the other one, S-Dock or whatever it's called. Doesn't look as good as chase plane, but at least that one works. Okay, we're still climbing, a bit less now since we're coming up higher and higher. On our way to 36,000 feet. The weather hasn't changed yet, and it's at these altitudes we're now starting to see kind of limitations of the True Sky engine, right? It becomes the pancake forms, and I'm not sure if that's the case that you don't see it when you're lower, or you know, just something changes that gives you these hideous patterns. But oh well. Okay, still climbing. 40 minutes to go. Yeah, you can see our vertical speed is lowering as we climb, which makes sense. We can set the auto brakes also. We'll do auto brake 3 just to make sure. And look at that, we had a smooth transition, so it does look like we have kind of a broken layer now rather. You can see here below that we're really not flying over any photoreal, it's just snowy landscape, but here it looks pretty fine, right, the snowy landscape. And actually this is kind of the best overcast or broken kind of overcast conditions that you can get. So it looks actually good. Maybe we should get a picture with this sort of a view. It was pretty good, the one I got already, but maybe this one is a bit... I don't know why this goddamn chase plane is minimizing. I'm asking it not to minimize the taskbar, and it still does minimize. Okay, let me see. Can we get like a nice view from the outside? Not getting like a good perspective. I think we'll just keep the thumbnail I already took a picture of.
Unfortunately, it can't do that.
Oh wait, look at this. But yeah, something is up with X-Plane, not a big fan of this new lagginess. I really don't want to leave or stop using X-Plane. There's some cool features such as the head movement. You can't notice it, but it's like on very low level, but there's some head movement going on. Okay, look, and now we're actually, I think we're moving for 7.76. I'm gonna check if we go back to VNav, what happens now. Yeah, so it wants us to go faster, so it's gonna lower the descent or the vertical speed. Not too low, we don't wanna descend. We wanna ascend. Okay, the nose is coming back up. Potentially it could be like the chase plane with this new bug that it has, doesn't like the volumetric clouds. Yeah, super frustrating. Nobody likes to get these micro stutters that don't seem to be game induced, but rather chase plane induced. But yeah, basically every time I put it back up, it's gone. Right, now it's working again. Super smooth views. Let me see if I can find a fix for this. Super frustrating. Chase plane. Keep on minimizing. Trying to check the forum. Yeah, the views work fine now, but I need to find a way to keep chase plane from not minimizing, even though the option not minimizing is not selected. Wait, here's someone with another option. What now? Now I managed to click something I shouldn't have clicked. Good times. I need to restart chase plane and hope that it works. There we go. Thank God for that.
Good morning, Captain 754 Heavy is 350310 in Fox.
Captain 754 Heavy Center, good morning, 8 kilo.
8 kilo.
Lima Delta, one ready, level 2. 401 ready, mid-range, Lima Delta.
Let me see what's the suggestion. Some people have some better suggestions, it seems. Okay, we're coming up on our altitude now. I want to see, do we level off at 36,000 or... Yeah, there we go. We're leveling off perfect.
Bush 1854, good morning. When you're ready, descend and maintain level 240 with the transition speed of 300 knots or greater for space.
8240 300 or better than transition Rouge 1854.
Aircraft 754, when you're ready, descend and maintain level 240, transition speed of 300 knots or less.
And 240, okay, 300 knots, 754.
Yeah, now I minimized it and we got the stuttering
Endeavour 5045, center, good morning.
immediately back again. Okay, I'm gonna check one thing. We're gonna open chase plane. I thought the idea was that you wouldn't have to.
Rouge 1854, contact speed is 135 and 162, good morning.
3562 Rouge 1854.
Yeah, look at this, super slow. So it's even worse if you click the minimize the taskbar thing.
Center, Challenger 501 Kilo Victor, flight level 310.
Challenger 501 kilo Victor, center, good morning, the 6 kilo.
And we have Kilo for 1 Kilo Victor.
Okay, we can't have the minimize the taskbar option. Interesting though, that doesn't even work. It's sufficient that one window is on top of the chase plane one. That kind of interrupts the flow. Super frustrating actually.
Aircraft 754, contact center 135.62, good morning.
6 Aircraft 754, bye.
If I have default to always on top and then with minimize, what happens then if I move it down? Same problem. Frustrating. Okay, so I need to find a way to have chase plane always on. That's a bit frustrating. Maybe if I, because I have an extra screen, so if I keep chase plane on the right and then on the left I keep the pilot JDC, maybe that could work. I'm so tired of these Windows updates breaking stuff though, that's frustrating. And you know, they only seem to break stuff in P3D. One of their competitors, not in Microsoft Flight Sim. Super frustrating. Okay, so the LS turning off, that's the lossless scaling they're talking about, so doesn't really help. I'm gonna check if anyone has any suggestion.
1 Kilo Victor, when you're ready to 78 James on 240. And 240, we're ready. 1 Kilo Victor. Go ahead. We're wondering if we'd be able to put in the trade-in for pilot. Okay, I'll switch it.
But at least it's smoother now. Interesting though that it's even with chase plane, with clicking those buttons and fixing it's not properly fixing it, there's still some bug. But this kind of explains the awful jankiness that I felt. But I don't think I've updated anything new that would have caused that, so that's weird as well. But okay, at least we found the issue and we can live with this. We just have to remember to apply the specific setup. Basically the key is that you don't want anything covering the chase plane app. It's so weird. I can't even understand how that would have any effect, but you know, computers nowadays, they have a mind of their own. Okay, we have 25 minutes to go, so we're getting closer to our destination. Just gonna check here. Seems like we have some nasty weather, but not sure how relevant. Not sure about any sort of top of descent. This Pamela one, I think, is the start of the. So if we go to the planning mode, and I'm just gonna go into this to showcase how the approach looks. You can see we're coming there, but we need to go and get there and then come in, because then we're landing from sort of the west to the east. But okay, at least we know that now. So hopefully we get a good transition. And actually we did get some updates. We got expect the RNAV approach to 2.8 with the Vermi transition. Okay, so RNAV to 28 with the Vermi transition. That's a different approach. We'll fly that, that's fine. This will make this flight much more straightforward. And the question I also have now is, are we getting at top of descent now? Can it calculate that? Yeah, it can. Okay, perfect. So we know that top of descent is coming up in about 50 nautical miles. I'll just have to double check the course. It's going to be 278. So we'll keep the VR the same, because I'm pretty sure the VR is the same from this, yeah, this direction as well, with 278 as the course. So I'm just going to put in 278. I don't think I changed this earlier either. So good that we caught that. 278. Anything else that we have forgotten? No, nothing I can think of. We need to check here, right, for the landing. We'll do flaps 40, 126. Very beautiful views. Another bug that's very annoying, I'm not sure if we can see it now, but basically if you're flying a long haul, there will be a time where the clouds are going faster than what you're going, and they're kind of all moving the same direction, so it looks really ridiculous. We don't have it now, so now we are flying, as you can see, and passing the clouds, but yeah, very annoying bug. So if you fly a long haul, maybe fly with the 2D clouds. Okay, anything else coming up in 40 nautical miles? We can of course prepare this. We're gonna go down to 36, so I'm gonna put that in. Since it's a Boeing, it should take care of the descent itself. Might overspeed though, so there's a bit of a risk. The thing with the Norman Wells approach, it's a very beautiful approach in the sense that you have this mountain, specifically coming in from 28 right, so you have this little mountain, or hill maybe is the proper word, to the right of you. So it's a very beautiful approach. I think I've flown this once with the Just Flight HS748, but it was quite a while ago since I did that. 360. Let's put that in. And now we're once again seeing changing clouds. So we're now getting some sort of pancake shaped flat thing. But actually not been that bad, the transitions. I think it's worse during the summer where you're going from all these kind of different cumulus ones. Or when you're doing an approach and you get a sudden change. But oh well. But yeah, I'm just gonna go quickly. I'm gonna leave you with this view so we can see what's happening, and I'll be right back to take care of the rest of the departure. It's actually still about 150 nautical miles to go, so maybe it's an early top of. Nah, it's gonna be quite fine because it's gonna be around 110 when we start descending, so should be fine at the end. But yeah, see you soon.
Delta 809 Center, good morning. Let me know when you're back. Correct, Nelson.
Delta 809.
Cargo Jet 907, contact 1356.
1356, Cargo Jet 907.
See it.
Good morning, TSO Air 275. Heavy 290 DLC deviation weather.
Southern Air 275, Heavy Center, good morning.
Yeah, we're going to have to deviate for, we're going to keep this heading for at least 40 to 50 miles, and then we can head to takeoff.
Roger, that's fine.
Thank you. Toronto, Delta 2738 at 320, direct nosing.
Delta 2738 Center, good morning.
Go. Good morning, Grim 310, flow 310, we have Mike.
Turn 7310 Center, good morning. Mike is current. Air Canada 580, contact center with your speed 13562 today.
Okay, the captain is back. We are descending. According to this, we have only 90 nautical miles left to go. So what I'm wondering is, did we start descending too late? That's my fear, at least. I'm gonna check here on the descent. We have the transition altitude. We're supposed to be at 6,000 feet at Vermi. But it's basically a straight-in approach from Vermi. After that, it's only 23 nautical miles still, but that's not a lot. So this will be very interesting to see how it goes. God damn it, I need to remember not to make my pilot ADC too big so it covers the chase plane. Always annoying when you have to take those kind of things into account. While we're descending, I'm gonna open up one of these books that I have, the JP Airlines fleet. This is their 27-28 edition. Check a bit what pictures they have. Honor Air A300-600. Okay, interesting. Probably doesn't fly anymore for them. That was in Zurich. Yeah, it definitely doesn't fly, right? That's a Turkish airline, Honor Air. Then TAP A310. That definitely doesn't fly for TAP anymore. An A319, German wings. Spirit of TCOM. Might still be flying. A320, Indian Airlines. Does Indian Airlines still fly? I'm not certain. I think it's Air India, right? And then some of these other ones that fly, SpiceJet and what was it, Vistavia or whatever it was, Vistarra I think it was called. Here's an Air Royal Air Maroc A321, an A330 TAM, A330-200, and then we have an A330-300 with the G engines, I think, Thai Airways. An A340-300 Gulf Air. This one definitely doesn't fly for Gulf Air anymore. An A340-600 Virgin Atlantic. I don't think they fly for Virgin Atlantic anymore either. Antonov AN-12, Volar Airlines might still fly for them, I guess. Air Mauritius, ATR 42-500. Maybe it flies, or maybe it doesn't. Good question. 500 models are still relatively new. ATR 72-200, that's a bit old. Manchester for Air Aran. Is that like an Irish one? Air Aran? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how that's supposed to be pronounced. What else do we have here? A RDPL 34168. Is this some sort of Indonesian Lao Airlines? This is some weird Avik. What the hell? What? No, sorry. It's Avik IMA 60. What a weird name. There's another Avik, but this one looks more like a ATR. No, no, sorry, not ATR, but Antonov. Which one is it? It's the Antonov 28 derivative. So yeah, a bit weird with some of these ones that have these weird designations. Here's an Avik Y12, Flying Dragon Airlines, Kathmandu. There must be some sort of, you know, produced a bit like the BAC 111 that was produced in Romania. What's it called? Licensed manufacturing, something like that. BAE 146-200, Atlantic Airways, BAE 146-300, Air Dolomiti. A lot of these 146 and the other RJs have disappeared, unfortunately. BAE 32 Jetstream, Coast Air might still fly, I guess. Beechcraft 1900D for Mauritius. Ramokolam International. Oh, sorry, here, Katov Air. Katov Air. Or no, sorry, Katov Air. Okay, maybe that's the name. Weird. Oh, a 727-100 still flying. Lloyd Air Boliviano. And a Kitty Hawk Air Cargo 727-200. 737-3. No, 737-200 of Sky Airline. That's an interesting one. Is that a flag of Chile, maybe? And then a 737-300 winglets with winglets. Looks pretty modern. I think the winglets is the main thing, right? If they don't have the winglets, they look much older. Yeah, so many beautiful ones going to the Boeing 747-200 model. Some pictures here of Land Cargo 767-300. Oh, this is an interesting one. United in this kind of blue. I think before the merger, right? Or I'm not sure actually. Yeah, it must be before the merger with Continental, right? Because it's in 06. The planes back in the day, they had more. I mean, even here you can still start to see the kind of whiteness in most of these, but they had a bit more variety in their looks. Now a lot of them do kind of basic looks. Unfortunately. Yeah, I need to get more of these JP Airlines fleet. They're quite fun to when you're flying or something. Just to kind of skim through them. See some different aircrafts. Okay, we're coming up on 18,000 feet. Let's have a look at the info we are getting. Altimeter 2974. We are gonna put that into our altimeter. 2974. Still 10 minutes to go, but we are getting there slowly. Let me zoom in here. 29er. I think that's 74, right? I think it's looking pretty good. We can arm the speed brake already. And let's check the different viewpoints from within the... Yeah, looking pretty nice. You can see though the land class, just because I'm so used to now flying with photoreal that even if it's snow, it's still It's better though than flying without the snow, because that sucks when you're flying for the real, you know, it's winter. For example, I really want to fly in Finland and Sweden, but even in X-Plane, right, because it has this weird, you know, no snow unless it's snowing. It doesn't really work either. But here up in northern Canada we can still fly with the Landclair snow. Okay, let's see, we are slowly getting further or closer to Virmi. And it looks like we're gonna reach the point at a pretty correct altitude. I'm just gonna double check quickly here. So at the rear we wanna be... Yeah, if you right click this one you can actually change the view, that's good. You can zoom on this, that's good. So at Perrier we should be at 36,000, or sorry, 3,600. Yes, that's correct. 278 is the course. Yeah, looking good. And if I remember correctly, you fly this one like a normal VNAV, LNAV, and then just after the last fix you should put on the approach. At least that's how I remember. Could be wrong. The missed approach is to turn a bit to the left, 262 course to Senli. Not sure if we have... yeah, there we go, Senli for a holding pattern. Let's hope we can avoid that. I'm gonna check the weather on active sky. Moderate snow, so we're gonna have a bit of precipitation. Altimeter 2973. Kinda what we have, but we can maybe adjust it a bit so we get it correct. There are a few clouds at 5,000, few at 9,000 feet. I think we can see here it's 2 layers. I think that's kind of the max you can get from the True Sky engine, unfortunately, 2 cloud layers, which is not very accurate, but I mean it's not often you get multiple layers, but storms and such, right? And the layering is what makes it beautiful, right? So a bit of a bummer. So far, knock on wood, it's doing really well, the VNAV and LNAV, much better than I've seen it do with the 767 and the 757. So I'm a bit surprised that why those doesn't work. You know, maybe something broke them. Because we're coming up on 10,000 feet, we're gonna drop the... But I'm not sure, do we drop anything? I mean, they're kind of built in, right? So... wouldn't you just need to put these ones? Or maybe there's something here on the outside. Yeah, that one, right? That's the lights.
Canadian 4003, you are 33 nautical miles east of the airport. Altimeter 2973, cleared direct Victor India Romeo Mike India, then cleared for the INAV approach to runway 28 with the Vermi transition at Norman Wells Airport. No tower at Norman Wells Airport, changed to local traffic advisory frequency approved.
Okay,
Contact
so
us
we're
on this
changing to
frequency when on the
local.
ground to cancel IFR.
Okay, yeah, we should call this frequency to
Altimeter
cancel IFR.
2973.
Okay.
Cleared direct Victor India Romeo Mike India, then cleared for the RNAV approach to runway 28 with the Vermi transition at Norman Wells
What's
Airport.
the com?
We'll call
Radio
this frequency
122
to cancel IFR when on the ground. Canadian 4003.
Okay, let's see if we're changing to that radio. Nothing yet.
Aircraft calling Edmund.
Let me check. Actually, we're gonna switch to the local advisor, I think. Yeah, here we have the radio. Maybe we can get the altimeter from it. Let's check.
Norman Wells Radio. Canadian 4003 say altimeter.
Canadian 4003
I thought it was
altimeter
unmanned,
is
but
2973
maybe not.
at Norman Wells Airport.
Okay, since we're coming in on Vermi, I'm gonna do these flights as well, just to
Canadian 4003
help us with the workload. Seatbelt signs are on. Here we can see the little hill I was talking about. It gets more pronounced as we descend. The nice thing is we get all the kind of trees, etc. So it makes the approach quite nice actually during this time. Okay, we're leveling off a bit. And I think it's because we want to slow down this. No, it's not. We are increasing the speed values. It's saying that we're in the cruise mode, interestingly enough. Okay, now it's going down. We're continuing to descend. Not gonna touch the flaps just yet. But okay, let's be ready to take over controls for the landing, and let's check that we have everything set. Auto brakes quite high. Flaps, we have nothing on the flaps yet, but we have the speed brake armed. It's supposed to be snowing, but I have a doubt that we'll see any kind of snow. But let's see once we get closer. We're losing a bit of visibility, so I'm a bit afraid that could there be some, you know, a layer of, there's the runway, a layer of fog. I hope not, but that's always a bit the risk. We got an altitude alert. I don't think we're that low. Or maybe it's related to the altitude we have selected. And I think we want to continue descending at least to 1900, so I'm going to put that in. Yeah, now it's leveling off at 3600. The lights are set, so that's good. What else? Let's see what happens maybe if we start putting the flaps now. I mean, we're kind of on the approach now, so we should be putting everything, or I guess rare is when it starts. So it's kind of time. Going to flaps 2, going to flaps 5. Gonna zoom in a bit more with this one to the lowest setting. The aircraft is looking pretty good. We are gonna drop the gear as well. Is it too soon to drop it here? I mean, we still have about oh, let me check. My EFB is actually dying in terms of battery. That's not good. Let's put in a charger. Yeah, so we are about 5 nautical miles. No, sorry, not 5. Almost 10. But of course decreasing quite rapidly. We're going manual thrust. Okay, let's see, manual thrust. We can go flaps 15. Let's keep it on the autopilot for now. Can we go on a lower setting, or is this the this is the lowest one? Can we change to... that's the terrain one. Doesn't say too much though. Okay, we have pretty good visibility, we can close that. Okay, here we have some clouds. We're still a bit low. And here we go, we're getting some of those. And as you can see, it's actually... it's working as rain. It does look like there is, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's shown in a bit of a different way when it's snow rather than rain, pure rain. And let's see, can we put this down to 700? If I do the approach, what happens? Glide slope? And I'm just interested from my own view. We're a bit slow. I'm gonna add a bit of thrust. Add a bit more flaps. Okay, we're actually... so I'm gonna take manual control. Yeah, we're a bit high now rather than being low. Let's get this back on track. But yeah, I think we could have descended more, keeping it on LNAV and VNAV. Maybe that was the mistake. Let's go to flaps full. I'm gonna try to get that trim. Save us. Okay, we have the runway in sight. But what we're lacking is it's a bit of stability on this approach. We're descending quite rapidly. Hopefully though we can get those poppies into the red. Why can't I get these two? No, they are on full. Okay. It might just be the angle and the speed that we have that's stopping them from deploying fully. Yeah, now they're deploying. Okay. We did minimums, so continue, I guess. We're a bit high on profile. Yeah. Let's see now, can we get this bird down? Yeah, but this will be tight. Whew. But look at that. We did it. Woo-hoo-hoo. Almost go around. Yeah, I was forcing this one down quite a bit. Let's put on the APU. There we go. Not sure why the reversers haven't... oh yeah, I just need to put that. I forget sometimes how the P3D one differs from X-Plane. And it actually looked like we are getting some rain on the windscreens. So I'm gonna assume it depends a bit, because I don't think we got any when we were at Yellowknife, but I could have been wrong. Okay, so let's turn back here. But here it looks really nice, right? I mean, look at this. This very much looks like northern Finland. I think I said this also during the last video, but this is where Land Clash really shines. Yeah. And this is also one of the reasons why I'm really happy with this Canadian Xpress joining this airline, because it has so many, you know, so you can select your own routes, right? So it has, and it has quite a big variety of different planes. So that's kind of a big, oh, we were supposed to turn on this one. Let's do that then. But yeah, one of the fun things with it. The risk is, of course, then you get bored because you don't have to follow any sort of structure, kind of like with Walker Air. But But I think if you have a few of those different ones, you can kind of narrow them down. So if I do Canadian Xpress, I mainly try to find Canada or maybe to the US, etc. But I'll probably do other routes as well when I feel like it. One thing we needed to turn off, but we are actually going to keep them on, and not because I know it's wrong, but it's because it's going to look nicer with the landing when we do the replay. Or maybe it won't because it's not night actually, so we can skip those. Won't matter. We can get these ones activated. Open those. Wanna avoid the dual bleed. And we can just park at this one, I think. Should be doable. Well, yeah, this was a fun flight actually. I was thinking if I was gonna do the Milvis 737-200 instead, but I felt like I really need to try this one. I wanna do the IXEG as well, but let's see. Here we can. Let's see, we can maybe brake here. It's not perfect landing, but it's sufficiently good for the purposes we're trying to achieve. Good. We have the landing. The landing rate was 133, so we did float. We got a good landing rate for that. G-forces below 1, so that's good. I'm just gonna close this because I don't care about the rest. I only use it mainly for landing rate and for a bit of immersion. The recording is looking fine, but this one is covering it. And let me just see. We can close pilot to the sea. We should get the IFR clearance thingamabob, but we'll leave that for later. And we'll stop the flight. We did have the right flight plan, right? CYZF to CYVQ. Good. And we can stop log. We can save log, and then we can send log. Okay, good. Now we can close. Or actually, I'm just going to double check that we got the ACARS sent. The way to do that is to go into Canadian Xpress and then check. I think the easiest way is to go on pilot roster, find myself. I think I'm only one based in Sweden. Yeah, we have 3 flights. That means this one has counted for something. And we can do the... Actually, do we want to take the... Take it here, maybe the... It could be a good one, but we'll leave it. But this could be a good thumbnail. You know, it looks really good. I really like this this approach and this kind of the airport location. This is a freeware one as well, so you can see the quality isn't the highest, but it's not bad for being this kind of freeware in the middle of nowhere kind of airport. What we'll do next is the instant replay. We'll have to go a bit further back, I think. Here, I wasn't too pleased with the approach, because I don't know, I clicked the approach button, didn't really, I don't think I should have done that, maybe. Not sure how the 300 works. Maybe it's the Airbus where you can click the approach kind of at the end and then it does it automatically. Haven't read the FCOM appropriately, so that could have been the issue. I think it was pretty okay, the landing. Let me just double check one more time. Yeah, we're coming in with nose down, then we flare. There we go. Yeah, maybe we didn't float that bad. We floated kind of halfway, not the best. I mean, we lost quite a bit of runway. Luckily, this one could stop pretty quickly. It's not a bad. Actually, now that I think of it, what's the aerodrome chart stating? It's 6,000 feet of runway. Ah, that's pretty okay. It's not the longest, but not the shortest either. But yeah, with that said, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Always appreciated. And yeah, I guess I have nothing more to add. Let's see what I fly next. Maybe the IXEG to compare. I've been doing a lot of those compare videos lately, so might make sense. But yeah, thanks for watching and bye bye.